Hi, it's Mrs. Houston. Our learning target is I can perform and describe rotations in the coordinate plane. Okay, so with today's experience, first you have to plot the triangle. As you can see, I already have. So use the points 2, 1, 6, 1, and 4, 5 and plot them, label them. And then we're going to be using the patty paper or the little square tracing paper that you can get from the front table if you don't have one. So the rotation, once you do this, you're going to trace this triangle. Make sure you label with the letters. You're going to trace the X and Y axis, and you can use different colors if you want to. But I'm going to suggest then that you put your pencil point right here in the middle, and then you turn it one turn, 90 degrees counterclockwise is going to be one turn. Now, I can't do that exactly on here, but I can do a rotation, except for that it keeps it right in the same spot. It's not using the origin as the center of rotation, so I'm going to kind of have to move it over a little bit. Okay, so if I would have put my pencil in the middle and turned it, it should look like something like this. Okay, so now we're going to write down what are our new coordinates after that. Okay, so the coordinate of A is -1, 2. The new B is -1, 6. And the new C is -5, 4. Okay, so that's a rotation of 90. Then you would put your pencil in this origin, the center point right there, and you would turn it one more time, except yours would actually move down. I'm just not able to do that on here, so I have to move it a little bit, and it would end up right there. Okay, so a rotation of 180, we would end up with the coordinates -2, -1, -6, -1, and -4, -5. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do the rotation of 270, which would be a third turn. Put your pencil right in the middle, and you can turn it one more time. I'm going to have to move mine, so just give me a second here. It would have ended up right here. Okay, so the new coordinates of the triangle are 1, -2, 1, -6, and 5, -4. All right, now I'd ask you to pause the video here and take a look at the coordinates and see if you notice any patterns. Okay, I'd like to start by looking at the 90-degree rotation. And I noticed that the 2 and the 1, we have the same numbers, but the signs change and the positions change. So the X and Y switched, and the X coordinate has the opposite sign. Okay, so the way that you can write that as a rule is you would say that XY becomes -Y, X. Okay, so whatever the first or whatever the second coordinate is, the Y, you move it to the X and change the sign, and then you put the X coordinate where the Y coordinate goes. Okay, and that's where it ends up. Okay, and you'll notice that holds true for all of them. And real quick here, I'm just going to plot those so we can see it. Okay, so from there to there is a 90-degree rotation. One turn, and it's counterclockwise that we're moving, the opposite of the way the clock goes. One turn is 90 degrees. All right, now if you look at the original, and the rotation of 180, you can see that the 2 and the 1 stay in the same, like the same numbers, they're in the same order, but they changed signs. So if we go to number 5 here, the way that we could write the rule for number 5 is we could say xy becomes negative x, negative y. All right, you don't change the order, you just change the signs. Okay, so I'm going to real quickly plot that one on here. -2, -1. And anytime you can pause the video if you need to. I'm just trying to not make it 10 minutes long. Okay, whoopsie. That line should have been a little bit straighter, sorry about that. And that would be a 180-degree turn. All right, and now if we look at the original and the 270, we see that they switched the numbers and the y coordinate changed sign. I'm sorry, the x coordinate changes signs. Because you can see that whatever the x was, it becomes the y with the opposite sign. Okay, the y goes to the x, and then the x goes to the y, opposite sign. All right, so if we write down that rule, we would say xy becomes, y negative x. Okay, let me plot that one on there real quick as well. So we have 1, -2, 1, -6, and 5, -4. Let's see, connect the dots. Okay, and the rotation where you go 3 turns, 1, 2, 3, is a rotation of 270 degrees. Okay, so 90, 180, 270, 1 turn, 2 turn, or 3 turns. Okay, I'm gonna leave this number 7 for you to do on your own, and we're gonna fill in the quick notes here because we're already past 7 minutes. Okay, so when you're performing a rotation, I might actually want to, we're performing rotations about the origin, which is the point 0, 0. I do want to note that. So rotations about the origin. When I told you to use your tracing paper, you were going to put your pencil point in the middle there. Oh, that's the origin. Sorry, I can't talk and write at the same time. Origin, I was trying to write 0, 0. Okay, 0, 0. Okay, and then I just want to make a note that 1 turn equals 90 degrees. 2 turns equals 180 degrees. And then 3 turns is 270. 4 turns is 360, which is back where you started from. So that's interesting there. Okay, but then if we take a look right underneath each of these, I'm going to put the rules. So the first, the 90, the xy becomes negative y x. So you change the positions of the coordinates and the sign on the y becomes the opposite sign. When you do a rotation of 180 degrees, and actually let me add in here, we're doing counterclockwise turn rotations. The xy becomes negative x, negative y. All right, they don't switch positions, they just both switch signs. And then the 270-degree rotation, the xy, kind of running out of room here, becomes y negative x. Okay, so we switch the positions of the coordinates, and we take the x coordinate goes second, and it switches signs. Okay, that's it.